Thank you for joining us today for our presentation on supporting your child during remote learning. My name is Beth Robbins. I'm the school social worker at Roxborough Road Middle School, and myself, along with some other counselors and social workers within the district, have put together this presentation to help assist you, the parent, with supporting your child with remote learning. This is a new thing for all of us. And so there are some helpful tips within this presentation to help you as the parent help your child at home through this process. We're going to talk a little bit about executive functioning development, organization and time management, breaks and rewards, and additional resources that are available to you. Executive functioning are the skills in which children start to develop at a very young age and are still developing while in the school. Even up until middle school and older, our kids are still developing these executive functioning skills. A lot of these executive functioning skills are things that students need to develop even more so now while being at home, such as scheduling, organization of tasks, asking for help. So the additional tips that we're going to go over in this presentation will help you as a parent help your child with some of these skills that have been yet developed for them. Here's a short video we're going to watch about executive functioning and to give you a little more background.
Do you find your child to be disorganized? Do they have trouble focusing on more than one thing at a time? And what's up with them not remembering any of the instructions you just gave them? Expecting that your young child will give them. Expecting that your young child will be as organized as you or have as much focus as you is not quite developmentally accurate. When your child reaches preschool age, they are just starting to exhibit the skills of executive function, and it is your job to help nourish that growth. What is executive function? Executive function is a set of mental processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember instructions, juggle multiple tasks successfully, and link past experiences to the present. To better understand this concept of executive function, let's take a look at what is going on within the brain. It all starts in the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is the most advanced part of the brain. In humans, it makes up almost the whole front third of the brain. It helps monitor and regulate your emotional circuits and habit circuits. For example, if a person is mad and their immediate reaction is to scream and throw punches, the prefrontal cortex allows them to come up with a more productive reaction, like explaining their feelings or taking some deep breaths to calm down. This part of your brain is also in charge of planning and getting stuff done. This can range from devising a little white lie or plotting revenge to going to the bathroom, or planning a trip around the world. Importantly, it is also the slowest part of the brain to develop, continuing to mature until your mid-20s. So it's highly influenced by experiences, especially during the preschool years. A child is not born with executive function skills, but they are born with the potential to develop them. The skills of executive function depend on 3 different types of brain functions that are primarily mediated by the prefrontal cortex: working memory, mental flexibility, and self-control. Let's break each of these 3 skills down. Working memory is the ability to retain and use distinct pieces of information over short periods of time. Mental flexibility is the ability to sustain or shift attention in response to different demands or to apply different rules to different settings. Self-control enables us to set priorities and resist impulsive actions or responses. As you can see, the 3 executive function skills, working memory, mental flexibility, and self-control, affect almost every aspect of our day. Realizing that children are still learning and not just being bad can be a refreshing perspective for us adults to remember. So next time you realize that your child needs help following directions, staying focused, or seeing something from a different perspective, think of it as an opportunity to support and nurture brain development. When a child feels nurtured, their brain releases the hormone oxytocin, which reduces stress and allows the prefrontal prefrontal cortex to flourish. Kids learn better by watching and imitating than they do by being taught. If you put pressure on your child to use these functions in a way that ignores their level of development, then you're likely increasing their stress and thus working against your own interests. Your love and the example you set are foundational to your child's mental development. This video was brought to you by the folks at Parent Lab. For more information, head on over to parentlab.com.
Thank you for watching that video. I hope as parents you found that to be helpful information about executive functioning skills and the importance of us paying attention as parents to what skills our children are still lacking as young children and may need extra help and love during this time of home virtual remote learning.
Hello, I'm Kelly Colabello and I'm the social worker at Gillette Road Middle School. I'm going to talk now a little bit about organization and time management. The video showed that kids are still developing executive functioning skills. So because of this, they're still going to need your support in learning organization and time management. One of the most important ways to support your child is to create a consistent, quiet workspace. This can look very different in different households. If there is the space, create a work area that is only used for schoolwork. However, any area that is used for schoolwork should be free from distractions. So not a place where there are a lot of people hanging out, where the TV is on, a nice quiet place for them to be able to focus and concentrate on their work. Depending on your child, allowing them to work in their bedroom may or may not be the best workspace for them. If your child has many distractions in their room, like a TV or a gaming system, or if they need some extra supervision to stay on task, working in a more centralized work area might be a better place for them. When you are setting up the workspace for your child, make sure that they have all the necessary school supplies right there with them. This might include scrap paper, pens, pencils, headphones, calculators, anything they might need throughout their day. If the work area is in a common living area, like the dining room or the kitchen table, you could always consider having a box where you can gather up these items to put them away until the next school day. And remember to keep in mind the visible space around them when they are in a virtual session. So make sure that there's nothing distracting either your child or the other children that are participating in the virtual class. This is just an image of, on the left, what a workspace might look like when it's not too organized or when there might be some distractions like toys there for them. But on the right, we can see an organized workspace that will promote learning. So the next thing to consider with organization is a daily routine. It is important to set up a daily routine and to stick to it. Have your child do the same things they would normally do if they were actually going into school that day. Make sure that they're waking up at the same time, that they're getting dressed, brushing their teeth, that they're eating breakfast before they start their schoolwork. All of these things will help them feel more ready to take on the day. Make sure your child signs in through ClassLink every day. In many cases, this is what is used to mark your child's attendance for the day. Make sure your child is going to Google Classroom or Seesaw to check for assignments in their to-do lists and classwork pages. Make sure they are attending scheduled Zooms and Google Meets, as well as their live streaming classes. Teachers might be providing important information in these live sessions that might not be posted in the Google Classrooms. And finally, have your child stick to the lunch and breaks that are built into their schedule. Kids need these breaks to help them reset as they move on to the next task in their schedule. Another important part of helping your child stay organized is to use a schedule. We cannot stress enough how important it can be for your child to have a copy of their schedule posted right at their work area. Many of our students find it helpful to have this as a visual reminder to keep them moving through their day. Many teachers have posted a weekly schedule for their classes. You can check Google Classroom for the schedule. You can ask your child's teacher for a copy, or you can always check in with your school's counselor to see if you can get some help in obtaining the schedule. And one final organization and time management strategy to use are reminders. This can be a digital timer or a reminder for the start of a live class or an assignment that's coming up due. This can be a Post-it sticky note with reminders, but probably most effective is the use of a daily or weekly checklist. Not only does this provide that visual reminder that many students need, but it also allows your child to see their progress and their hard work. Kids like to be able to check off a box for something that they have finished. It just feels good to be able to check something off as being done. So I know that these are a lot of ideas to think about. Sometimes it takes trying different things to see what's going to work best for your child. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lori Close. I am the social worker at Lakeshore Road Elementary, and I'm going to continue this presentation by talking about breaks and reward systems that can be helpful in your virtual day. Why are breaks a good thing? Well, in order to maintain attention to a task that requires a lot of concentration and focus, breaks are actually necessary. As adults, we actually naturally take breaks to reset before getting back to an activity that we have to sustain. Like, for example, if I'm cleaning the house, I'm going to take some breaks to have something to eat or to do something different so that I can get the motivation and the attention to get back to the task at hand. Science will tell us that actually movement helps the brain to refocus. School classrooms actually use movement breaks throughout the entire day. They sometimes use rest, but there are breaks built in throughout a typical school day, and in which we encourage you to do while you're home during virtual learning. When should you take a break? Well, breaks can be taken at natural transition times, like when an academic task is finished, such as a math activity or ELA, writing or reading assignment. Another good time is when you start to notice that your child is getting frustrated. When they're getting frustrated, it's a good idea to take a quick break so that their emotions can calm down. We know that when emotions are strong or out of control, attention is limited. Scheduled breaks are really important to also avoid frustration because they come at times before frustration builds. Many teachers are planning their breaks right into their schedule. You'll notice on their schedule, they'll schedule in 5 to 10 minute breaks. We encourage you to follow that. So what should a break look like? Breaks actually need to offer a change in pace. So any type of movement can help the brain reset, and it can improve in concentration for the long haul. Such things as a quick walk, running around outside, maybe more restful things like drawing or coloring or reading. We strongly suggest not using any type of electronic device during a quick break unless it is an active follow along kind of movement activity. Otherwise, it is typically too difficult for a child to easily give up the electronic activity in order to transition back to an academic task. So, how should breaks be structured? We recommend short 5 to 10 minute breaks. Your child should be able to easily stop the activity, the break activity, without much protest. Breaks give a quick step away from work, but it's not to be such a high interest that their focus gets locked in and then they have a hard time giving it up and moving it on. Again, it should be something that they can easily pay attention to, gives them a quick step away, but they can easily step back from that. Breaks should not be considered a reward. for completing a task. That's something different. Rewards are earned. Breaks are just a natural part of a schedule. We recommend also using a timer to signal the beginning and end of a break. Let the timer tell your child when the break is over. This avoids a power struggle. It is harder to argue with a buzzer. It's much easier to argue with you. So let the timer be the person that tells your child to stop. Again, choose an activity that can be easily done in 5 to 10 minutes. Reward systems. Not all kids need reward systems, but if your child is struggling with some motivation or building some successful skills for learning, reward system might be important. Actually, most classrooms have behavior management or reward systems built right into their daily classroom. We can't really offer you anything on this presentation, but there are many reward systems that you can find online. In fact, we've got on the next slide, we have those posted. Please check them out if you're needing a reward system for your child. There's lots of good ideas on these websites. As well, consult with your teachers and also consult with your counseling staff. They can help build an individualized, tailored reward system for you. One last thought is the difference between monitoring your child versus enabling your children. Your child should be encouraged to be an independent learner. I know as parents we want to be helpful, but doing too much for them during virtual learning can actually hinder their development. A sense of personal competence develops from taking risks, pushing ourselves to master new skills. If we do too much for our children, they may not develop this confidence. We need to allow our children to experience the small frustrations that come along with learning new tasks. As they master their emotions and the challenging tasks, it's really fun to watch their confidence grow. We encourage you to monitor your child and their work by encouraging and supporting their independent thinking and their ability to problem solve on their own. We know that this is a really difficult combination of being a parent and a teacher, and we're all in this together and all in new territory together. Reach out if you need help.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Prakaski, and I am the ADAPEP counselor at Smith Road Elementary, Cicero Elementary, and Roxborough Road Elementary. Here is a friendly reminder to you. Parenting is difficult even during regular situations. No one has ever parented during a pandemic. Be kind to yourself. Teaching is difficult even during regular situations. No one has ever taught during a pandemic, so be kind. With that being said, we are all experiencing new territory. Be kind and patient with yourself. Reach out to teachers, school counselors, and others, school staff, who are always willing and able to help you navigate these uncharted waters. Stronger together. We are all in this together. We, meaning parents, grandparents, children, administrators, teachers, school staff, school tech staff. We are all traveling together down this new road. We are all in this together. Be kind to yourself as you are to others. For any other resources that you may need for academic needs, please first reach out to your child's teachers. For any mental health needs, please reach out to your school-based counseling staff. For any community-based needs, please contact Access or contact your school-based counseling department where they will be able to reach out to Access for you. Or please feel free to look through the Access website where you can find community-based supports there as well. For any technology resources, please visit the North Syracuse Central School District website where you can find resources posted there. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please contact your child's school and ask to speak with the counseling department.